Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I'm not for sure when you guys will see this particular video. However, I'm actually doing this video in the morning. So again, Grand Rising or Grand Day or Grand Evening. Welcome to my channel. This is Oracle or Divine Truth, Miss V. It has been a while since I've actually put any videos out, but I'm actually thinking about making a new channel. Related to ancestral messages only. However, I woke up this morning feeling very pulled and drawn to tap into this 1111 portal. The ancestors wanted to speak. So with that being said, Oracle is going to bring forth the messages from your ancestors on what you need to know and be aware of during this 1111 portal. As you can see here, I have 3 pals. I've already connected with Spirit, and Spirit has provided the cards. I have not looked at any of these pals as of yet. So we do have pal 1, pal 2, and pal 3. First and foremost, before I dive into the pals, I would like to say thank you for all who's watching. Please definitely click the like button as well as subscribe, because I do feel very strongly that I'm going to be moving forth with more videos, ancestral led only. Okay, we don't have enough ancestral diviners on YouTube. So this is definitely something that I'm going to be implementing. So again, click the like button, click the subscribe button, so that way you can stay notified to any videos that I do have as well. If any one of you are interested in a personal reading, you can check the I'm gonna put it in the comment section or either the description box below, my website. But again, it is www.spiritualvibrations.org. I offer many different types of spiritual readings. Also, I do have spiritual products that's on sale as well, so feel free to take a look at the product section in or on my website. So without further ado, again, let's go ahead and dive on in. Welcome again. With this 1111 portal, we're going through a lot of significant energies at this time. So try your best today to stay in an optimistic mindset. Try to set your intentions for the things that your heart truly desires. Try to work on coming out of a place of fear, okay? Try to raise your vibrational frequency today as much as you possibly can. So again, we have 3 pals here, ancestral messages during this 1111 portal. We have, again, pal 1, pal 2, and pal 3. I will also be leaving, if you don't want to listen to the intro, I'm going to be leaving the timestamps below as well. So again, you can just go straight into the pal that you choose. So take your time, take a deep breath, and then ask Spirit to guide you towards the message that you need to hear. And yes, you can pick more than one pal. Pick what you're drawn to. So again, pal 1, pal 2, and pal 3. All right, so we're about to go ahead now and begin. I'm going to put these over here to the side, and we're going to focus on pal 1. So these ancestral messages here, I'm going to reveal them at the end. Okay, so I'm going to actually set that up here. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. First and foremost, I am using a deck by Miss Donna Dreams. Okay, it is called the Spirits of the North deck, divination deck. So I definitely want to get a shout out to Donna Dreams for this deck. This is a very powerful deck, very original, authentic. So again, thank you so much for allowing your spiritual team to implement such a very powerful tool for diviners to utilize. So shouts out to Donna Dreams. Okay, and she is a very well-known YouTuber on YouTube as well. So let's go ahead and tap in for pal 1. So we're going to start off here. We have ancestors speaking. Pay attention to your health. Stop stressing yourself out and take care of yourself. Okay. We also have the bush shaman. We live by rituals and prayers, blending in with the bush, kept secrets, being aligned with nature. I'm going to lay all the cards out. We also have Yoruba medicine woman, spiritual medicine and healing provided, seeking solutions to issues unseen, herbs, spell work, and cleansing. We also have here the altar, giving offerings, establishing a connection, and receive a message. Spirit is actually wanting me to kind of tap into this first before we dive into the remaining of the cards here. Okay. So, for most of you that have chosen Pile 1, your ancestors are acknowledging that they are aware of the stress that you're dealing with at this particular time. Whether this stress is coming from things that you're healing from, or whether or not this stress is coming from some external things that you are going through or and has been through. Your ancestors are acknowledging that they do want you to pay attention to your health and try not to stress yourself out. They want you to take better care of yourself. Okay, and they're acknowledging that many of you that selected Pile 1, you may be actually ungrounded at this time. Your ancestors want you to connect with nature, get outdoors. Okay, do some tree hugging, place your feet on concrete, on the grass, take a walk through the park, maybe just sit outside on your front or back porch. Connect with nature. Nature is very powerful. It has so much energy to change our own energy within. It helps us to stay, it helps us to be grounded. It helps to gain clarity. It helps rejuvenate our energy. So needing to connect with nature. Another thing your ancestors are acknowledging is that many of you do need to start living by rituals or prayers. Let's talk about rituals. Ritual is something that you dedicate yourself to do. Okay, it's a dedication. It's a self-discipline. Okay, whether you're doing a ritual every other day, every day, once a week, once a month, staying dedicated to this. Just like for a person that goes to the gym, you know, when they have in their mindset they're working on their health, they're dedicated. They're going to get up, they got to flow, whether they exercising every 3 days. They're dedicated to that. And that is something that your ancestors are wanting you guys to do. Now, I'm not saying exercise. Having a ritual could be waking up each and every day, lighting a candle, going to your altar, communicating with your ancestors. Okay, it could be, again, just going outside in nature. It could be meditation. It could be saying a prayer. Okay, allow spirit to lead you towards what your rituals should be. But your ancestors is acknowledging there's a need for you to live by your rituals and your prayers and to stay grounded, connect with nature. Some of you guys that are watching this are earth signs. Okay, of course there's many other signs, but I'm definitely picking up some earth energy here. They want you to be more aligned with nature. And some of you also have some Native American connections. Okay, Native American roots, indigenous ancestors. Okay, it's in your DNA. For some of you, if you guys have ever received a DNA ancestry kit, then you would possibly have some type of percentage of Native American or indigenous cultures in your DNA. Okay, now what your ancestors are acknowledging for some of you, due to the stress levels that you have been under and what you're under right now, some of you guys need a cleansing of your energy. Okay, so cleansing, working with herbs, having candle work done, whether you do it yourself or go to a skilled person that is able to do a spiritual cleansing on you, it is something that is beneficial for you. Many of you are going through a massive healing right now. Okay, many of you that selected this pile is a medicine woman or a medicine man, or definitely was a medicine woman or a medicine man in your past life. Okay, however, due to the stressors and heightened sense of emotions, because I feel that with these 3 cards coming up, your sacral chakra could be out of alignment. I don't like to use the word blockage. That's my preference. Every practitioner is different. That's my practice. I don't like to use the word blocked. I like to use out of alignment. So the sacral chakra is out of alignment, which is another reason why your ancestors are acknowledging needing to get grounded, needing to connect with nature, needing to live by rituals and prayers. Okay. Also, another thing when it comes to prayers, it's very important that we understand prayer is very powerful. Your intention, okay, behind the prayer is powerful, but it's very important for you to know prayer without faith is a waste of breath. As I tell my clients that get readings with me, and many of you that may watch this video may already know, prayer without faith is like talking to a brick wall and expecting to receive a response. It's just not going to happen. You have to walk away from their prayer knowing that everything is going to work out for your highest good. But release the outcome, the desired outcome of what you want. Because it may not work out how you anticipated on working out, But in the end, it's going to always work out for your highest good. And the more that you can rely on your ancestors, the more that you can rely on your spiritual team, the more that you will find that the stress begins to get lesser and lesser and lesser. Okay, so again, the ancestors are acknowledging many of you to take a spiritual bath, cleansing yourself, working with different herbs for cleansing. Of course, sage, palo santo, rosemary, bay leaves as well. Those are some of the basic herbs that you can utilize. For some of you, you are and could be very skilled when it comes to working with herbs. So of course you kind of already know what other herbs that can be used outside of the basics. Okay, but again, cleansing is needed. Many of you have been going to your altar and your ancestors are acknowledging that. They want to say thank you first and foremost. Thank you for coming to the altar. Thank you for relying on them to help and assist you, to guide you. Okay? And for others, it's time to go to your altar. It's time to communicate to your ancestors. Okay? Some people ask, well, how do you communicate with your ancestors? You just talk. Just like you will call up your parents, just like you may call up your best friend. You just express yourself, come from the heart. Pour it out, let it out. Communicate with them. Okay? For some of you, though, that do not have altars, your ancestors are requesting that this could be time for an altar. Creating an altar. Now, for those do have an altar, your ancestors are acknowledging if you've given offerings, your offerings have been accepted. If you have an altar and you have not been giving offerings, they are requesting offerings. My personal belief and what I'm getting ready to say, and again, this is my personal belief as a spiritualist. Giving offerings is a veneration. Giving offerings is also ashe. Ashe is energy. Okay? When you're giving offerings, you're giving your ancestors the ashe. And my viewpoint is giving them ashe to do the work that they need to do for you, to fight those battles that you're not able to see behind the scenes. So giving offerings, I feel personally, is very beneficial, especially when you're doing ancestral veneration. Establishing a connection. Because many of you, as the ancestors are acknowledging, that if you go to your altar, many of you do receive a message. Those that do. Those that actually live by the rituals. Okay? You do receive a message. And you have the ability to receive a message if you have not yet moved forth with an altar or have not yet taken the time out to sit down and communicate with your ancestors, okay? So we also have here integration. We also have death. We also have nature. Wow. Nature coming up twice here. Many of you, I feel, are definitely earth signs. I'm also picking up Scorpio energy here as well. Many of you may see the numbers 333 a lot, the numbers 33, okay? There is a need for you guys to really get a little bit grounded. I feel like many of you, the ancestors, are acknowledging you're going through a death and rebirth. Many of you are going through a transformation, okay? Certain things in your life could be coming to an end, or it feels as if it's coming to an end. But let's talk about endings. Endings may feel very difficult, okay? Because it's taking us away from what we was once comfortable with. But endings is so beneficial in order for us to have new beginnings. Okay, so it's very important for you to look at that perspective, because I do feel here that the ancestors are acknowledging sometimes your perception on how you choose to see things causes more stress than what the actual situation may be. Change is good, but again, trusting. If you're feeling worried, if you're feeling fearful, if you're feeling uncertain, go to your ancestors, go to your altar. Communicate what you're feeling. Okay? But again, really needing to ground. And I do feel like, again, with this transformative period, there's blessings waiting on the other side. There's blessings that is waiting. Okay? You also have your Maya, Ashe, Ashe. So many of you are going through a spiritual awakening right now. I'm also hearing Dark Night of the Souls for some. That won't resonate with everyone. And spiritual awakening has levels. You could be in the beginning stages of your spiritual awakening. You could be in the intermediate or the latent stages of your awakening. Some of you that may have selected this pile is aware that Yemaya is your head. And then you also have here the Two of Cups. Your ancestors are wanting many of you to connect more with your higher self at this time. Really taking time out to meditate. Really taking time out for sacred space. And you know, an altar is not just a literal altar. Okay? An altar is also yourself, your vessel. And I feel that your ancestors really want many of you to get to a place of centering yourself a little bit more, grounding yourself a little bit more. I'm also hearing there is a need to enlighten yourself a little bit more spiritually, so that way you can understand the cycles of what you're going through. Because I feel like right here, this is a cycle. There is a shift that is happening. Many of you have been dealing with some heavy energies or feeling kind of heavy. And it's time to find ways to raise your vibrational frequency up, to be more lighthearted. So strong meditation for you guys, connecting with nature, doing a spiritual cleansing. Try your best to not stress yourself out and take better care of your health. Understand that change is a part of life. It's all about your perception. We give our circumstances more power than what we should. It all depends on how you choose to see. And like I said, many of you are going through a rebirth. I'm also seeing some Phoenix rising energy here as well. So meditate, center, ground yourself, connect with nature, spiritual baths, give your offerings, communicate with your ancestors, do a cleansing on yourself. Trust the process, have faith. Okay? So let's go ahead now and tap into your ancestral messages that came out. We have stay strong in your faith and never lose sight of the goal. Okay? The next message is you are our answered prayer. So I'm also feeling with this card here, some of you, not all of you, may have been feeling some issues of lack of self-worth, or lack of self-esteem. Okay? Could be in this place of being your own worst enemy, very judgmental towards yourself. And your ancestors are acknowledging, nah, boo-boo, you are our answered prayer. Okay? Yes, Ashe. The next message is meditate more and ground yourself. So again, they really are acknowledging, power one, you need to meditate yourself. You need to meditate yourself. You need to meditate more. Okay? You need to meditate more. And again, for those who have been doing the work, the ancestors are proud of you. And they want you to continue to do the work during this time. Continue to keep yourself spiritually cleansed. Continue to ground yourself. Continue to not allow things to stress you out. Okay? Continue to connect with them. Continue to venerate them. Okay? Spirit is like, yes, yes, yes. The ancestors are acknowledging, like, yes. Like, yes. You know, this reading is on point. You know, say yes to life. Say yes to the experience. Be receptive of the changes that you're going through, because there's something new, and it's a beautiful blessing that's getting ready to be birthed in your life. So I really hope that, Power One, you enjoyed this reading. Please definitely leave in the comments your thoughts. Again, if you're interested with the reading with me, booking a reading, www.spiritualvibrations.org. Again, try to keep your vibrations high. Until next time, Ashe. All right, going to move on to those who selected Power 2. Power 2. These ancestral messages here will be read towards the end of your complete reading here. So I'm going to put them right here. And so let's go ahead and see what messages that you have for your ancestors on this 1111 portal. So you have African Mass Spirit. We have warded off negative plots and plans against you. You also have the ancestor that you ignore speaking. So when are you coming to talk to me? I have something to tell you, and bring me something in return. You also have here initiated into the mysteries, wise elder, knowledge to remove negative spirits and carry out rituals. All right, I think pile 2, I'm talking to my brujas. Okay. And then we have the albino brothers, born to stand out, embrace every part of yourself, dealing with childhood trauma, being bullied, and insecurities. As I'm speaking on pile 2, my voice is starting to get very cracked here. Okay, so this lets me know that there is some need to work on your throat chakra. The fact that we also have here, we warded off negative plans and plots against you, and the fact that my throat chakra is having some issues right now on expressing and speaking, somebody may have definitely been trying to send you some evil eye or negative energy your way. However, your ancestors is like, I blocked that shit in the dough. We warded off any plots or plans that's been against you. Okay, before I dive into the rest of these cards here, I want to kind of focus on these energies here. Okay, so I feel like many of you have warrior spirits, very strong, powerful spirits that is working on your behalf to protect you, okay, from any negative energy. The fact that we have warded off negative plots and plans against you, this is acknowledging that something has been sent your way, but it did not hit your auric field. They made sure to stop the energy before it got to you. Okay, many of you, I'm going to kind of hop around here. Many of you that selected this pal is definitely able to carry out rituals or may even do ritual work, hoodoo practice, candle magic as well. Have the ability to carry out spells, carry out rituals. Okay. So again, many of you have the ability to do it, whether you do it or not, or again, you are someone that does do it. For some of you that is in the practice of carrying out rituals, may have already did some work on return to sender, or, you know, removing negative energy, and it has worked. So this is confirmation. If you've been doing any work surrounding removal of negative energy, return to sender type of energy, it has worked. That's confirmation. Okay. Some of you have this gift, maybe actually aware of you having this gift, but dealing with some confidence issues, some insecurities, not feeling confident enough to be able to carry out rituals or being able to remove negative energies. So let's kind of go back. Again, I'm going to be hopping around however the ancestors guide me. We have the ancestors that you ignore speaking. So when are you going to come talk to me? I have something to tell you. Bring me something in return. Now, there is many people that has this particular deck, and they utilize it how they see fit and how their ancestors communicate with them. So what I'm getting here, though, is that when it comes to the ancestors that you ignore speaking, this is acknowledging sometimes we don't ignore our ancestors. We just don't know a lot of our ancestors. Some of our ancestors, majority of our ancestors, of course, because our ancestors are our roots, our heritage, our lineage. Our ancestors are those that came before us, okay? Many people don't know that our ancestors can also be those from our past life that still follow us in this lifetime. So again, there are a lot of ancestors that we do not know about, okay? So I do recommend that when you are doing ancestral veneration, and again, as a spiritualist, this is how I practice, okay? I have to keep putting that out there. This is how I practice, is that we have to call upon our ancestors, known and unknown, okay? Of higher light, okay? Of higher light, known and unknown, of higher light. Because that way you are also venerating as well as honoring those ancestors that walks with you, okay, that helps pave the way for you as well, even if you don't know their name, okay. For some of you guys, the ancestors are acknowledging, hey, you know who I am, but hey, when we gonna talk? I'm over here working on your behalf. I'm making shit happen. I'm stopping stuff in the door, but, you know, can you say, hey, can you peep in? Can we talk? And yeah, bring me something in return, you know. So especially if you have an altar. If you have an altar and you're not really utilizing your altar in the way that you should, that's not good, okay. And if you have an altar and you don't utilize it the way that you should, sometimes your life can start to begin to get a little bit chaotic as well, Okay. So again, your ancestors are acknowledging going to talk to them and bring them something in return, which means offerings. And again, validating your ancestors, known and unknown, those of higher light, okay, as well, because your ancestors are working, whether you know them or not, they are working, okay, in your favor as well. Many of you are very wise. Many of you are very tapped in spiritually. Okay, like I said, I feel like this is my pile of my brujas. Um, which is pagans, however you want to look at it, whatever you title yourself. Many of you have a lot of inner wisdom, and you do have the ability to, again, remove negative energies and carry out rituals. Now, we do have the albino brothers here, born to stand out, embrace every part of yourself, dealing with childhood trauma, being bullied, and insecurities. Your ancestors are wanting many of you to know that you were not meant to fit in. You were not meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. Okay? And standing out sometimes can feel a little bit uncomfortable. There could be emotions of loneliness, wanting a big old crowd, or, wanting to quote unquote fit in, but you're not meant to fit in. You're meant to stand out. You are unique. And I like how she created this deck, albino brothers. Albino, when you see albinos, they are definitely different. They are unique. They stand out. So being empowered by that is going to be very important. And is learning how to embrace every part of yourself. I'm also hearing your ancestors say, some of you, the way that you talk to yourself needs to change, because sometimes your self-talk, you may think somebody send you evil eye, you may think somebody send you negative energy, but that's your own self-talk and your own communication that you're having within yourself. I'm hearing the ancestors say, stop it. It needs to stop. For some of you, you've been doing it so long. It needs to stop. Your ancestors want you to embrace every part of yourself. Love yourself. Look in the mirror and love that person that looks back at you. Many of you that is dealing with these emotions at this particular time, where there is a lack of self-acceptance, has a lot to do with some of the childhood traumas that you've been through and the things that you have experienced. Do you know that you have the power to heal from this? Do you know the power of healing from your childhood traumas is within you? But do you recognize your power? Some of you are going through an initiation right now of really understanding the power and what you really bring to the table. Some of you may have gotten bullied in the past, and that may affect how you view yourself or how you see yourself, which again is insecurities. Now, for my brujas, for my witches, for my hoodoo practitioners, for those that do spiritual work, those that practice spell work, these energies of insecurity or lack of confidence within self, you got to work on it. You got to work on it. It's time to change the game. Okay? It's time to change the game, and you have the power to heal yourself. Let's pull some more cards and see what else comes up here. We have perception. Some of you for Pile 2 may have thought about picking Pile 1 as well, because I kind of talked a lot about perception in Pile 1. And then we also have letting go. So like I said, yes, for some of you, there's been some energies that's been sent your way, but your ancestors have warded that energy completely away from you. So there's no need for you to, do any extra, reversal of energy and all that. The ancestors took care of that. And for many of you that do practice and do spell work, like I said, have already taken care of that. It was successful. But I feel like, again, many of you, these energies are coming within thyself. It could be your perception on how you view yourself, the perception on how you see yourself as well. There is some letting go that is needed, especially when it comes to these traumas, these childhood challenges, these insecurities, okay? Needing to view yourself as being a powerful being. We have self-care. More nurturing of thyself is needed at this time. Taking time out to honor yourself. Taking time out to fill yourself up. For some of you, there is a need for you to do some chakra alignments, cleansing out your chakras, rebalancing your chakras. For those that is skilled or aware of how to do spiritual work, when it comes to candle work, I would recommend a cleansing of your energy, a spiritual cleansing. And as a spiritualist, based on how my ancestors has guided me, which is different from your ancestors, however, white candle for spiritual cleansing. Let's see what else come out. We have alchemy. Okay. Queen Nefertiti. So many of you have some Egyptian ancestors as well. Okay. But this is acknowledging that you are an alchemist. Like I said, you guys found, so some of you know how powerful you are. But some of you guys don't know how powerful that you are. You guys are alchemists. You are able to transmit that pain and that hurt and allow it to be a stepping stone for motivation. You have the power of alchemy. Another thing that I'm hearing as well, somebody that picked Pile 2 is been practicing or doing candle work and their vibrations are low. Their vibrations have been extremely low. Do not highly recommend do any spell work and your energies is not the best. Okay? You are allowing yourself to be more susceptible for psychic attacks. And then you have the Two of Swords. So again, refusing to see how powerful that you truly are as a person. That's what I'm picking up from this Two of Swords. And also with this Two of Swords, many of you guys didn't even know that negative energy was being sent your way. So your ancestors wanted you to know that, yeah, it was, but we stopped that before it hit your auric field. I'm just tapping in to see if there's anything else that I'm picking up. Okay. Ancestors are telling me to grab these cards here. So let's see what your ancestral messages is. It is time to forgive. Forgiveness can help you heal. Okay. So your ancestors are acknowledging that for some of you, you've been holding very tightly to things that you've endured in your past, things that you have been through. Okay. Whether you need to forgive yourself or there's a need to forgive others, forgiveness is important. Okay? Forgiveness is important. And it's time for many of you to start working on that, alchemizing that pain, alchemizing that hurt. It is not fair to you to allow that situation or that person to live in your life rent-free and steal away your joy, steal away your happiness because you're still holding on to pain, to anger, to resentment. Okay? So your ancestors acknowledging it is time to forgive, and forgiveness will help you heal. For pile number 2, multiple streams of income is coming your way. Okay? So somebody needed to hear that, because I'm looking at this particular card here, looking at the rest of the cards here. There is no in sync energy here. So somebody needed to hear that multiple streams of income are coming your way. For some of you that selected pile 2, though, what I am seeing, you may practice or do spiritual work, whether it's tarot card readings, whether it's Reiki healing, energy readings, sound healing, okay? And your business could be about to pick up as well. You also have release the burden of worries. Give them to us and we will take care of it. Okay, for many of you, you may have already went to your ancestors, and that's why this card came up here, that we have warded off plans and plots against you. Okay, so they've been working on your behalf, but your ancestors want you to know, release this burden. They really want you guys to let go of some heaviness that you guys have been going through, because I feel like there is a level of draining energies that is happening here. It's time to alchemize this energy. Give them your worries and they are going to take care of it. Learning how to let go, because some of you, not many of you, but some of you don't know how to let go, and it takes practice. Okay, the next message from your ancestors is, are you ready and are you sure? There is no turning back now. Are you ready and are you sure? There is no turning back now. For some of you have already began the healing process. For some of you have already been doing the shadow work. For some of you guys, you've been thinking about, it's time for me to let go of these, toxic patterns. It's time for me to heal. So the ancestors are like, are you ready? Is you ready? Ready? Ready. Are you ready? And are you sure? Because ain't no turning back now. Okay? And then last but not least, we have, get out of your own way. It's upsetting me and your ancestors. Okay? So your ancestors is like, look, some of y'all do pray, but then you worry. You still worry, or you still trying to control the situation. Get out of the way and let your ancestors help you. Okay? So I feel for Power 2, there was a lot of mixed energy here. Definitely different flavor than Power 1. But I do hope for those that selected Power 2 that these messages did help you in some shape or form or resonated. Again, this is a collective general message, so everything is not going to resonate. Take what resonates and get rid of what does not. But I hope that this reading has brought you a blessing, as well as encouragement and empowerment as well. So thank you so much. Click that like button, comment below, and we're going to move on to Power 3. All right, Power 3, last but not least, okay? Let's go ahead and see what messages your ancestors have for you on this 1111 portal. These cards right here, I'm going to reveal them at the end, okay? At the end. I'm going to reveal that at the end. So let's go ahead and tap on in and see what messages. We're going to start off with these cards here. So we have the filler. I can feel that pain in their energy, picking up on everything around you, positive and negative. So this is my pile here of my empaths. We also have here unknown ancestors speaking. I've been watching over you. Learn more about your heritage. Through research, you will find me, my name. And then you have oral history. As above, so below. The past is repeating itself. A deeper understanding, lessons, receiving a message that are obsolete. Okay, before I dive into these cards, I want to kind of tap into this energy first, okay? For many of you, you guys are empaths, and empaths are people that are able to feel the energies of others, meaning that you could be around someone, you know whether or not they're happy, sad, mad, angry, and sometimes, depending on your level of empathy, you know whether or not they're in pain. They don't even have to tell you. You can also walk into a building, a place, an establishment, and pick up on the energies, the vibrations of the environment that you're in. For empaths, when you feel things very deeply, where something may not bother another person as much as it bothers you. So again, this is my pile, not to say my other piles were not, but this pile 3 are my empaths. Many of you are empaths. And many of you are feeling a lot of heavy energies at this time. Many of you have been picking up on energies of others or in your environment. So first and foremost, if you have been feeling heavy, if you have been feeling out of sorts, if you have been feeling a little bit blah here, there is a need for you to protect your auric field. There is a need for you to wear your protective jewelry, your protective oils, whatever forms of protection that you have for yourself, whether you're shielding yourself in a white light prayer or anointing yourself in a prayer as well. There's a need to protect your energy field at this time, because you are picking up on a lot of energies on top of the energies that's going on within you at this time, okay? So just kind of also be mindful of the company that you keep at this time, the things that you watch on TV, the things that you allow to seep into your auric field at this time. Now, we have unknown ancestor here. It says again, I have been watching over you. Learn more about your heritage. Through research, you will find me, my name. Also, when I'm picking up here, for many of those that selected Power 3, you may be feeling energy around you at this time, okay? You may be feeling, like you're not alone, quote unquote, because many of you are not alone at this time, and many of you may feel like you're not alone, okay? Whether you feel the energy of your ancestors with you. There is definitely, for many of you that selected Power 3, are walking with someone is walking with you at this particular time, okay? So know that you're not alone at this time, okay? Another thing, and as I'm picking up as well, some of you may have been thinking about learning more about your ancestors, learning more about your heritage, okay? If you have been wanting to dive deep into your ancestry or learn more about your ancestry, you can always book me online for an in-depth ancestral reading, or reach out to someone that practices ancestral readings. But also, I highly recommend doing a DNA ancestry kit. Me, I actually have both, but I actually started off with 23andMe, and I also did later on the Ancestry.com. I personally recommend 23andMe. I feel like 23andMe is a little bit more detailed, but again, they both work. Okay, and that would allow you to connect with your roots, connect with your heritage. So I definitely feel that if you've been feeling the need to do that, that's confirmation. For some of you, you have already taken those steps. Okay, you have already began to dive deeper into your ancestry, learn more about your roots, learn more about where you come from, and that is a good thing here as well. And again, like I said, for some of you, it's time for you to start learning more about your ancestors, okay? Because you do have unknown ancestors. So ancestors that may have came before you, okay? Or ancestors, again, that you just may not be aware of, okay? That is around you at this time. So definitely tap into your ancestry. We also have the oral history here as well. Now, when it comes to emotions, I feel like your ancestors for Power 3 want to talk about law of attraction. As above, so below. Everything in life is energy. What you send up must come down, okay? So you want to be very mindful of the energy that you put out into the universe, because it can become your reality, okay? So I do feel like for many of Power 3, really practicing the law of attraction, trying to set your intentions, thinking very positive, having confidence, okay, is going to be the key. Because if you are vibrating with the frequency of fear, doubt, worry, stress, and uncertainty, those things will then begin to manifest into your reality. Again, as above, so below. And for many of you, you've been in this frequency of low vibrational frequency for a while, because it's like the cycle keeps repeating itself. And it's time to break this cycle. It's time to find ways to raise your vibrations up, okay? I always look at this card personally as acknowledging that many of you that selected Power 3, this is not your first time here. You've been reincarnated before. Okay, so this is not your first time here. I also feel that many of you really need to tune into your emotions at this time, because I feel like your emotions could be speaking to you. Your emotions could be trying to give you a message. Get in tune with your emotions at this time. Understand what you're feeling right now. Okay? Self-reflect on the emotions that you're feeling. For some of you, you're caught up in cycles and you're wondering, why am I constantly going through this? Why am I constantly dealing with this? When we don't take the time out to learn from what we go through, the cycle will repeat itself. Okay? Earth is our school and we are the students. And just like in school, when you pass first grade, you didn't go to second grade. But if you don't pass first grade, you're going to stay in first grade next year, right? So that's like the cycle repeating itself. When you take time out to step back, to observe, to analyze, to reflect, and to go within, to understand, what is this situation trying to show me? What is it that I need to learn from this situation? Sometimes we sit in the energies of, oh, why did this happen to me? Why am I going through this? Why? That's a choice. Everything in life is a choice. You can choose to stay in that energy and feel weighed down and feel like the world is against you. Or you could transmute that energy and alchemize that energy and ask yourself, what is this situation trying to show me? What is it that I need to learn? And it's when you go through those steps, you're able to break that cycle so that the pattern does not have to constantly keep repeating itself. Okay? All right, let's go ahead. We have struggle. I feel like some of you are struggling emotionally. Some of you, again, are going through karmic patterns, cycles, ways of thinking, okay? And it's been a struggle. You're moving forward, but it's a struggle moving forward. Okay, I feel like there is a need here to also cleanse your energy at this time. Cleanse your space at this time as well. We also have honor your energy. Some of you are giving too much of yourself to other people. Uneven exchange of energy. I heard relationships. Now, relationship, of course, is a bond that is shared with one another. Family member, friend, romantic partner, pets, shit, children, you know. But I'm hearing romantic partners, but that's not for everybody though. But some of you that are in romantic relationships are giving much more of yourself than what you actually receiving back. You're trying to hold on to something that has been a struggle. The cycles within a relationship are constantly revealing to you that something is out of alignment, but you keep pushing forward. But who's getting drained in the end? Whose ashe, whose vibration is being lowered? For others, it is just a need for you to start honoring your energy a little bit more. Investing more in yourself. Sitting in a place of solitude. Taking some time to go within. We do have abundance. Now, abundance for me has two different definitions. Abundance is material gain. Yes, cool, but that's not what we're talking about here. Abundance is joy, happiness, contentment, and emotional satisfaction. Do you know that's available to you? Some of you guys are struggling in situations that you don't have to struggle in. Some of you guys are struggling in mindsets that you don't have to struggle in. Because the abundance, the happiness is right here. Some of you guys do not see the value in who you are and what you bring to the table. And it's time to get in tune with thyself. It's time to honor thyself. It's time to invest more in thyself. Ether accords. I may be pronouncing that word incorrectly. It's time to cut the cords to the ghosts of the past, the things that's been harming you. It's time to cut the cords to toxic relationships that no longer serve you. It's time to cut the cords to toxic ways of thinking. It's time to cut the cords with giving too much of your energy to other people and not receiving that same energy in return. It's time to cut some cords. The past keeps repeating itself. We have the Four of Cups. Discontentment, sadness, not quite happy with how things are. When the abundance is there for you. You're meant to be an abundant. You're meant to be abundant. You are an abundant being. But I feel for some of you, you don't see yourself as such because some of the circumstances or the way of thinking or the things from the past is holding you back from stepping into your power. Honor your energy. The universe wants to offer you a way out. Are you willing to cut the cords? Are you willing to receive the messages that you need to hear in order to cut the cords? And that is being honest with ourselves. Okay? All right, let's see what the ancestral messages is here. We are celebrating your success along with you. So another thing here, for some of you, the ancestors are about to get ready to offer you some material gain, some happiness. Okay? Some of you are getting ready to receive material gain, material blessings, especially if you've been doing the work. If you've been doing the work on cutting ties from the things that no longer serve you, learning how to honor your energy, okay? Letting go of the struggles, okay? Saying to yourself, I'm not going to keep allowing this cycle to repeat itself. Spirit's like, I see you doing the work. You about to get blessed because your hard work does pay off. Okay, so again, your ancestors are acknowledging that we are celebrating your success along with you. You also have, don't waste your time or your gifts. So the ancestors like, stop wasting your time on people. Stop wasting your energy. Okay? Use your energy wisely. Use your gifts wisely. Okay? You also have be patient and seek the right moment and opportunity. Then be swift and collect your blessings. So blessings are coming in. But there's a need to be patient. Some of you may have been going through a struggle financially as well. And that is going to cease. Opportunities will be coming your way. But you're going to have to be able to pick your head up so that you can see the offers that's coming your way. Okay? And then you also have, you can play the game, but remember not to show others your hand. Some of you guys that could be working on some things right now, goals, ideas, trying to launch something, create something. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing until it's done. Okay, that's a message for somebody. Because I feel like whatever you're working on, whatever you're getting ready to implement is about to be abundant as hell. So your ancestors like, listen, you can play this game, but don't show others your hand just yet. So do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Okay, until it is done. Okay? Because everybody ain't happy for you. Alright? Alright, so this does complete for Power 3. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to comment in the comment section below. Sorry, my phone ringing, and I'm far away from it, so I cannot answer it, so I do apologize, Power 3. But anyway, this wraps up your reading. I hope you enjoyed. Book me. Check the description box below, and blessings to you. Ashe.